In our tornado book, first we discuss a little bit about our experiences over the last several years in traveling with Vortex 2. In 2009 and 2010, we traveled along with Vortex 2, and in 2010, Lauren was the probe truck driver of Probe 16 and was responsible with her partner of deploying tornado pods. They had 3 tornado pods in Probe 16 in front of the path of an oncoming tornado.
This right here is a tornado pod. It actually is something that we deploy in hopes that a tornado will come and carry it away, but you can collect good data. This right here is where all the data goes to, and this is its battery box. And you have a anemometer and a pressure sensor and a relative humidity, so you're kind of getting a feel of what the closer to the ground environment is in a tornadic circulation.
Dow 7 is here and Dow 6 is here. Justin Walker typically was operating Dow 6. The two of them work in tandem. They work as dual Doppler.
This radar here is actually not only a dual polarized radar, meaning it'll scan vertically and horizontally. It is also part of a dual lobe system with Dow 6 here, where they will both pick fixed positions and, as Dad was mentioning earlier, kind of scan in on the storm to create a really nice layered view of the entire updraft base and mesocyclone of the storm. Right now we're inside Dow 7, kind of the communications hub, and right here there are various monitors, and not only are they getting a live feed from the radar as it's scanning, different radar products, base reflectivity, velocity, other things that are unique to these radars. They also are able to get kind of an encompassing picture on things like GR level 2, which we have a link to in our book. So that mast that we pointed out earlier actually is linked to a system called SASE chat, which is something that was unique to Vortex 2. Dr. Eric Rasmussen developed this, and it's kind of like Twitter for the science community right here. It'll show a radar overlay of the storms and all the different mesonet vehicles and different pod trucks, as well as the radar trucks, and kind of incorporate not only where they are in location to the radar, it'll also show, what kind of data they're picking up. So you could see a wind gust of, 60 knots from truck A, and then how that corresponds with actual fixed mesonets in the field. And so a really kind of neat incorporating integrated system of communication.
The book was constructed based on our experience both in tracking and understanding tornadoes as they were developing in the field. So the first part of the book just talks about really basic meteorology. It talks about looking at clouds, cloud formations, so that even if you didn't have any other resources, you could look at the book and say, wow, those clouds look like they're developing into possible supercell storm. We got these huge updrafts billowing into a backshear anvil. So we cover a lot of those basic things early on. And then we go into the book later on, talk about the instruments that we used in our experience with Vortex 2, as well as the instruments we now use in the vehicle. And so the book covers the instruments and understanding you need in order to know what's coming your way. Matter of fact, the book covers identification of storm elements, and there are interactive live links if you have an iPhone where you can actually click on a link and look at a storm interactively using one of the government's Doppler radar tracks. So if you're concerned with something that you're seeing moving your way, you can go to the book, click on a portion of it, and actually see the storm on a government Doppler site and determine there may be a warning. If it's severe warned, if it's flood warned, or if it's tornado warned, then you would have some inkling that this storm could be very dangerous and maybe moving in your direction. And that's particularly important if you own a house or a farm, or you're in a fixed position and you can't move your property like you do when you're tracking a severe storm. And so that way is it time to head for a basement or a shelter? Is it time to, maybe if you identify that the characteristics of this storm and you've got a wedge tornado and it's not moving towards you but it's moving towards a local town, is it time to actually call authorities and notify them of what you're seeing? So there are certain things that you can learn throughout the book and understand how maybe to respond.